All right, we are talking about Jonathan Frakes, the Star Trek legend, number one, Mr. Riker, director, writer, actor. This I'm not saying it's the greatest of all time, but if there was a award for most work put into Star Trek, this guy would get it.
I think so. Like it would probably be it would probably be Leonard Nimoy and then him.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
So the thing is, I don't know how good of a director Riker for Jonathan Frakes is.
I think he's good,
but he's constantly getting work. He gets more work to direct than he gets to act. In fact, I would tell you, I believe that the only real acting he ever really did was Riker, and I think that that's just a version of himself, anyways.
I think you're right. I think Riker is a version of Jonathan Frakes, and honestly, since Discovery has really been a pretty awful show all the way through, the only episodes that were like relatively okay were the ones that he directed.
Right. So we gotta give it up to the guy. The guy is talented.
And he directed Orville episodes.
Oh, he directed a lot of Orville episodes.
Yes. So he's been all around the block many times.
Yeah. He's also directed episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is one of my favorite shows. Now, the guy is clearly talented behind the camera. So what does Jonathan Frakes, the legend himself, have to say about the future of Star Trek movies, Shane?
Pop up our Honest Pop Culture link.
This comes from honestpopculture.com. You can go there by going to honestpopculture.com. And this is what he said, and I quote, "If those two names can't get a fucking movie made, I don't know."
So I wasn't sure if I should actually probably put that there, and like in the future, I'll probably have to change that word.
Use asterisks next time.
Yeah, but
because it won't get crawled on Google if it has curse words.
That makes sense. I don't know what's gotten into me lately. I've been wanting to cuss lately. I don't know what's going on.
It's anger. By the way, yes, he was the voice actor for the Gargoyles series, and he was awesome. I forgot the name of this guy's name. He was the main gargoyle. Anyways, go ahead.
So, Star Trek legend Jonathan Frakes cast doubt on future Star Trek movies. He was asked basically what he thought about the future of Star Trek movies in a recent article with SFX magazine. And basically he said, TV is the future, it seems to me. And he said, movies are tough. Even JJ can't get his fourth movie off the ground, he observed, referring to JJ Abrams.
Yeah. And JJ Abrams has some power, right?
Oh yeah. He's probably one of the most powerful
directors. He's like, when it comes to
for sure. And his Bad Robot gets have a lot of power.
Bad Reboot.
It says, let's see. Yes, director of the first two Kelvin Universe films. And by the way, he didn't direct the third one, but he essentially set up the third one to be, I think James Wan directed the third one. Justin Lin. Sorry, that was probably didn't look good.
Yeah, one's Fast and Furious, one's Aquaman.
That's right. In addition to the fourth Kelvin movie, which was intended to star Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pine as father and son, there was like 4 different storylines to Star Trek 4 that's changed many times.
And let's be clear: the one where they're going to use time travel to get Chris Hemsworth into the Star Trek universe is stupid, and it's super transparent. Do not do that.
Well, they're not going to anymore. So they both of those actors require too much money to be in the movie together.
It's funny because I bet you some executive that approved them killing off Kirk's dad and then finding out what Chris Hemsworth turned out to be a decade later is really pissed off right now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm sorry, guys. Did we kill off Chris Hemsworth in the first 6 minutes of the movie? Whose idea was that? Have that person killed.
Well, he was a nobody.
He was nobody.
At the time, they didn't know he was going to be Thor.
Yeah, you know, I got my wife to watch that movie like 8 years later. I'm like, babe, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth. I started naming names.
People. Nice.
The chick that played Gamora, whatever her name was, she was great.
Yeah.
On paper, the Star Trek 2009 looks like an epic movie.
Right. That's true. Well, basically, so what what Frakes says here is when he's talking about J.J. Abrams and Quentin Tarantino, because he brings up Quentin Tarantino, and he basically said, if those two names can't get an effing movie made, then I don't know. And he's right.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, if J.J. Abrams and Quentin Tarantino both want to do Star Trek movies and can't get them made, there's a problem.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Quentin Tarantino has how many movies left? Because remember, he has a limit on how many movies he can make, right?
He's according to him. I mean, he can change his rule if he wants, but one more left. Yeah.
Yeah. So he has one more. He was going to waste his last movie on Star Trek and still couldn't make it happen. Do you understand how insane that sounds?
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
To be honest, I'm glad he didn't make that movie because I read the spec that he put out there, and it was like Kirk and Spock like in a gangster movie or somewhere.
He would go back to one of the original series episodes,
right?
And
no thanks. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. So basically, he goes on to say, let's see. It seems to be to him that TV is where the future is. Now, how much of that is him because he's in Picard season 3 and he probably wouldn't mind doing more? I don't think Jonathan wanted to come back and act, really. Terry had to do some convincing. And I mean, he was going to come back because he did it in Picard season 1, obviously. But so in Picard season 1, though, like he didn't even lose the baby weight. He just sort of showed up.
Right. He showed up, he did what was asked of him, and then got back behind the camera. But in Picard season 3, this guy is fit and trim and ready to party.
Right.
It's a completely different situation.
Yeah, and his character's so much more developed.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
Than it ever was in TNG, by the way.
Yeah, he barely I really believe that in Picard season 1, it was like, let me do you a favor. And in Picard season 3, he wanted to do it. It was two different things.
And I think that it might have revitalized him to want to do more. So I think
really good.
I think if they asked him to do more, I think he would.
Him and Michael Dorn, and honestly, LeVar Burton, these three guys that I like. You see pictures and you think, oh, they're past their prime, dude. In season 3, these guys. I mean, I think Michael Dorn looks younger than me. Okay, like straight up, he looks. They are so revitalized in this role.
Yes, they seem very revitalized.
It really is like we said before. Like it's the best we've ever seen of Worf, and I would argue it's damn close to the best we've seen of Riker.
Even Patrick Stewart, who felt like, especially in Picard season 2, it felt like he never changed scenes because he was like too tired to walk to the different place. Like they would literally leave him out of missions and he would just like stay behind. Right.
He would stay behind sitting on a couch having conversations.
Right. That was all it was. And we're like, this doesn't feel like Picard. Well, guess what? Picard season 3, he's still old and he's still, you can see it.
He's still old and decrepit, but he's moving.
He seems revitalized.
He's like the crypt keeper on meth.
That is just not nice, bro.
Someone gave that guy an upper for season 3. That's for sure.
He's more engaged. So, anyways, it might be self-serving here, him saying that, but it does seem that TV shows. I mean, I'm telling you, Paramount Plus, they got a lock on Star Trek, good, bad, or otherwise. They're going to be cranking out shows for years to come. I promise you. Yeah. So their priority definitely isn't. I think there's a lot of truth to what Jonathan here is saying. There doesn't seem to be a lot lining up for the movies down the line. So,
yeah, and listen, either it's going to be more of Terry Trek and people, and not just Terry. There are other people in Terry's camp that also, can do levels of Picard season 3 that Terry's friendly with. It's either going to be people from that are like that are fans that are controlling new shows and pushing the future forward, or we're going to get a whole lot of Section 31 promises and some Khan's grandson lost in the Badlands outside DS9 or something like that. It's going to be something really stupid. It's going to be something stupid and not important and literally can only damage what we already love. Like that. Those are the two options we have. We have going forward with an idea and a frame of reference from the opinion of a fan, or we have convoluted nonsense that only operates in the past where they can only do damage. They can't.
I think you guys know where we stand on this. I think we've been. I think
Sorry.
we're being very clear.
Okay, I can't.
On the fact. No, I think we're being very clear that we want Terry Matalas to do more Star Trek.
Jesus.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's it. Hit the comment section.
Please let Terry Matalas do more.
Please, to more Terry Trek. Terry Star Trek. Terry Star Trek. Star Trek Terry. All right, hit the comment section on the way down there. Please hit the subscribe button. A whopping 86% of you are not subscribed, and I don't know why. Because I think I'm at least slightly entertaining, and the subscribe button is free. So I don't know.
I like you. I like you. Why not?